So, Christina, tell people about you. Where were you before you found me? What was life like at that point?
So basically, everything that you just said, that's exactly where I was. Um, just to mention a few, I pulled up my notes and I said, okay, I know I have something. So the first thing I have is blurry vision. Sometimes I would have like a fullness in my ears. One side of my face and my ear would get like red and really hot, lightheaded all the time, small headaches, heart palpitations, chest pains, and I felt heavy like I was gonna fall every single day. And that was my major things. That's not the little things. That's not my aches and pains. That's not this was before I even realized that I knew I had digestive issues with dairy. I didn't realize that it has to do with proteins and all that other stuff, but I knew for sure cheese and milk, I can't have it. Um, but all of that. The biggest problem was the dizziness, always feeling like I was going to pass out. Um, and then being on, my medicine that was supposed to help me with all of that, that absolutely did not help me with that.
What made you want to actually work with me? Like, why did you decide to, work with me?
Well, I'd been following your emails. I don't think at the time I knew about the Facebook group, but I would read your emails and I would watch your the email post on the hydration challenge. I think you had a boot camp that was coming up, but the email that you had sent was that it was the last call for the hydration. And I had been to within the year that this everything started happening, I had been to 5 different doctors. One I had been seeing since I'm 19. One was a lady who I've been seeing. She was a beautician, and so she knew me from a little girl growing up. Now she was a homeopathic. A new doctor that I found, endocrinologist, and a nurse practitioner. And everything, nothing, listen, none of them had um, hope like I did. None of them wanted to hear, except for the lady who was, the natural lady, of course. Um, None of them wanted to hear that I was going to get better. And, I didn't want to get on medicine. None of them wanted to hear that. And then when I said, okay, when I saw the email and you're like, the last call, I'm like, okay, I'm in. It's a year and I'm feeling worse and worse. I've lost half my hair. Let's go. Let's just do this. And then when I saw it was, I just have to drink water. Let's do it. Because listen, I could not see the veins in my hands anymore. I mean, so it was just gone. And I used to look at my vein in my hand and be like, oh, well, it's not very puffy, so I must need to drink water. No, like they had completely disappeared. So I was definitely dehydrated.
So, so 5 doctors,
Yeah,
no hope.
no hope.
What well, I mean, so far, what has your experience been like working with me?
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. That it's been the easiest thing. Um, you sit down, you spend so much time, and all I had to do was try the things that everybody, is like, well, I've done this or I've done that or whatever. Okay, well then let's try drinking water.
So,
Let's try adding a few vitamins in there. I mean, it's been great. It really has. I feel almost 100% different from what I felt, and yet I know that I have such a long way to go. So I can't. It can only get better. It can only get better.
and this is one of the reasons why I'm excited that you're sharing your story and you're saying these things because it's going to help some people maybe wake up and say, "Hey, maybe I need to just slow down, pay
Yes,
attention."
yeah, that was me, and it's it has a lot to do with that was 100% me. It was okay. have here, because I've talked to so many people, okay, let's do this, this, and this. And then so I have this whole cabinet of different stuff. And then it's like, well, wait a minute. If I'm in with you, then I'm in 100%. So I had to backtrack myself. And I had the opportunity that came up that I was able to get me the water machine. So I jumped on it. I was able to do that. And I am so glad that I done that, because I was going to the doctor every 2 weeks, because this doctor was willing to do this blood work right now and give me my results back in 2 days. This doctor, I had to wait to 2 weeks. So I had them lined up, and I said, all of this. So you know what? Let me back off. Let me stop going for a minute. This is the money that I would have saved. So I'm going to get my water machine. And I did. And I'm so glad. I posted a picture of the stuff that comes out. Looks like rust.
Yes.
It's disgusting. And that's out of the faucet. That's not, that's not out of a bottle. That's not out of a jug. It's just, and I've tried different things. I've tried them just out of a gallon to see if it would come up. And they do have it, just all, I did lose my train of thought, but it's trusting you enough that you know what you're talking about, regardless if you're a man and I'm a woman or whoever. It's trusting the process, because everything, your story is the same exact as mine and the same exact as the next person.
Yes.
So it's all the same. It doesn't matter. So it's backtracking and saying, you know what, I'm in this 100%. Let's go. And just see what happens. It took a little while for me. Mm-hmm. I remember watching Ina's video, and Ina had said that it was 6 weeks and her sleep started getting better. And I'm sitting here like, God, please, I want that to be me. And it may have not happened but you know what? It is. I hit the bed and I am out. Everybody knows if mama goes in the bed, she has 2 minutes. So we have 2 minutes to say whatever we got to say, because I'm out. And I was so tired, couldn't go to sleep. I was there. But I remember it was a month in, and Ina did hers, and she's like, I'm sleeping so much better. And I said, oh, Jesus, do I have 2 weeks left until I can sleep good? I remember thinking that. I remember thinking my skin, because my chest and my neck would be so dry. Is that going to go away? Is that going to be the same for me? And it was the same. So it's just trusting.
So, you know what's funny? I remember your comment.
Yes.
I remember you comment. You said, that's going to be me. I claim it, y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. I did say that, didn't I?
I remember that. And I said that. And here's the thing. This is the part that I can't teach people.
Yeah.
When I asked you, the first time that I asked you, like, why did you decide to get started with me? Mm-hmm. The answer that you gave me was, I was ready.
Oh, I was ready. That's it.
I'm glad that you're pointing this out and the time frames, because you mentioned you fall asleep now, mm-hmm. Within 2 minutes. But what was that like before you got started with me?
So I would just lay down and I couldn't go to sleep. So I'd end up taking something, because I'm like, I have to go to sleep. I do not have to do that anymore. But it was just tired. My body couldn't even go no more. I was tired. So why couldn't I fall asleep? And your mind just goes, and it makes things worse. So it's like, okay, I wish I had that little switch, that on-off switch, something like that. But I could not rest. I couldn't, no matter what. And for years, if it gets too bad, take me a little half, poop, and then that was it. But I'd go to sleep for a little while, but I don't need that. I don't need it anymore.
Awesome.
It's and you're looking at something since I'm 20, probably 24, 25 years old, that I've been, not every night, because nothing that I've taken like that has been every night, but it's for years. I'm struggling. No, I'm poop, quick fix. I love them quick fixes, but they it's not what you need. So
right. So now you don't need that, but you're able to fall asleep.
Yes. very easily.
So what has that done to other things like now are you waking up with brain fog? Like how's all that changing other areas or things that you were experiencing before?
Okay, so I used to get up and I would wake up very dizzy, have to, kind of get myself under control. Um, that is not there anymore. That's gone. I get up, poop, walk out, figure out what I'm gonna do for the day. It's totally different. It's not my first thought anymore. It's, oh my God, am I gonna be dizzy? Am I gonna bump into a wall? Am I gonna have to hold on to the wall to walk to the kitchen this morning? It's not, it's not, don't have to worry about it. Sometimes I still wake up and I feel like I can go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Um, Usually it's because I ate something that I had no business to eat. Um, and understanding that now too, that helps a lot. It's like I said, it's almost 100%. It's just different now. I don't even know if I have the right words to describe it. I feel better. My husband told me day before yesterday, he said, you look you look so young. You look younger. Your skin looks great. You've lost so much weight, which I have not lost any weight at all. But he said everything about me has
Yeah.
changed. And of course, I don't see it, but everybody else does. I have people that come into the store where I work and they're like, "Oh, Christina, you're losing so much weight." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." But I really, so everything, um, I guess others see it.
Yeah. And that's really like what it is. It's I don't know how else to describe it other than like there's feeling miserable and
Yeah,
then there's feeling better.
yeah.
It's the
I
opposite.
looked at my flowers, and this is no lie. I had all my flowers, and I love hibiscus. It's my favorite flower ever. And they were all up along my fence. And for 2 years, I'd be like, man, I know they're not in the right spot. They're not blooming. I'd have one or two flowers, and I need to move them. And I'd go and I'd try to move them, and they're not heavy at all. I realize that now, but I did not want to move them in the sun. I just didn't have the energy. I felt like I didn't have the strength. So I'm like, oh, I'll do that later. I'll do that later. And when I started doing the hydration challenge, I'd wake up and I'd be like, oh my God, I feel good right now. So I'd hurry up, I'd run outside and I'd grab one pot and I'd bring it to my patio where it would get full sun all day. And I said, I'm going to do that one thing today because I love my flowers and they're not doing well in the shade. And I did. And I left it there. And within a week, I had all these blooms on my flowers. And I'm like, huh. And then I'd go a few days and I didn't really feel like going out there and pulling another one. So, but every week I said, I'm going to do one. I'm going to do one. I have over 15 pots and they're all blooming. They're all in the right spot. I went to the store. I bought more pots because I said, I'm digging them out the ground and I'm putting them in pots. They need sun. Like I need sun. And they're blooming. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so me. Like I need my vitamin D. I need to get out in the sun. And I felt so good. Nobody has room to walk on my patio because it's, like I feel like that's like they were just in the wrong spot for a little while. Like me, I was in the wrong spot for a little while. And I moved in the right direction. I had enough energy to do just a little bit at a time, and that's what I done.
That's a perfect analogy.
Yes. And I know you get it, but I can't explain it perfect. But it's like the blooms, I feel like that's me.
Yeah.
That's me. That's one little area. Every bloom is like, oh, yes, yes. And then of course it's been raining for 4 days, so they're not getting any sunshine. And I'm like, okay, wait, maybe I have too much of a connection with my flowers.
Can you talk a little bit about how your perception or your way to think about food has changed?
The only way I can explain what I've realized about food is And it's not an excuse. Everybody says, oh, I'm from the South, so we do this. Everybody from everywhere eats like crap. But the South is, I mean, we have really good food here, but well, it's good for me anyway. Well, not good for me, but it's good for me. So I would, when I started paying attention to everything, um, my baby is 3, and my whole pregnancy, I ate whatever I wanted. And I wish I would have known you then, because I know my pregnancy would have been different, but I stayed dizzy my whole pregnancy. But I ate whatever I wanted. I gained 40 pounds. When I tell you I didn't skip a meal, I didn't skip a meal. Well, I started realizing after starting everything with you that depending on what I ate would cause me to be dizzy more. Like I would wake up, I would eat my breakfast, and let's say something like within 20 or 30 minutes, I was dizzy, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. It's got to be something that I'm putting. And then you explained what happens when you're toxic, and then you're feeding the toxicity, and then that puts out more toxicity. And I'm like, okay, well then I need to I know I need to get that under control. And so I started doing, well, little bit by little bit. I always had basically what I think is a high protein breakfast: eggs, some kind of meat. I really don't eat a lot of bread or rice anymore, but I never had that for breakfast. It was always a high protein thing, omelets or, something like that. Um, some shakes that I had no clue, but even that, I guess, maybe had something hidden in it that I couldn't have anymore. So that's the way I look at it. It's like, okay, if I eat this, it's probably going to trigger something that I wasn't able to get rid of just yet. Mm-hmm. It's coming, it's going to be gone. And it's not saying that I could go and eat like crap again, but it's still something in there. So is this going to make me dizzy or not? Because ultimately I don't want to be dizzy. I don't want to feel like I'm going to faint. I don't want to feel like I'm going to pass out. And that is how I look at food now. I'm not perfect with it. I ate birthday cake 2 days ago, and I feel like it still got me today, and it's 2 days later. Yeah. I shouldn't have done it, but I did. I mean, hey, my baby's only 15 once, right?
Hey, exactly.
But so that's how I look at food now. Is this going to is it going to push me back? Yes. Okay. Am I willing to do this? No. The other day I didn't think it would hit me the way that it did. Because it was just a piece of cake, for God's sakes, but it did. Now I got all that sugar. God knows what I fed. I don't even want to think about it. That's just in heaven right now. Yeah. But that's what I do when it comes to food. My diet is still not 100% where it should be, but it's definitely not where it was.
Right.
Sauerkraut, I try to add that to all my meals now. I'm trying to think of what else, but that's how I look at food. If it's going to, I realize now that it affects me.
Yes.
And so that's what I do. I just, okay, what it's going to do. And then I go from there.
Let's talk a little bit about nutrient deficiencies. What are some things that you've seen in you that, where nutrient deficiencies have played a role, before and after?
Meaning like nutrient, like vitamins or?
Yeah, like, so for example, I know that when you were first starting out, there were, like usually like when I work with someone, I look at, okay, what are the foods that you're eating? And then I basically start making sure that you're getting certain nutrients. Mm-hmm. Right? So like in your case, I know, and I mean, I don't know if I wanted to, disclose what nutrients you were deficient on, but if you want to share that, that's up to you. Yeah. What are some differences that you've seen in that, like, comparing your diet before to like what it is now?
Okay, so my vitamin D, I believe on my last blood work that I did, I think it's still kind of low. It's 39, but it's very slow to go up. Mm-hmm. And it's just, and I've got prescriptions for the stuff that it didn't budge. So very slowly over the last 2 years, that's, going up. I know that one for sure. And then I'm doing another test Thursday to get it rechecked to see from the doctor that I saw last year, to see if it's gotten any better. You want to know like what I take? My iron
Well,
was low.
so let's back up because
Okay.
there's something you just said here that that's going to help a lot of people.
Mhm.
Vitamin D.
Yes.
How long did you take whatever they prescribed you for?
So I never took the prescription because it was 50,000 and that scared the hell out of me.
Okay.
Um, I had, okay, so basically this is what I was taking that had vitamin D in it. I was taking 10,000 um, of just a D supplement, I guess, that came from the nurse practitioner lady that's willing to do the little in-between test for me. She's actually the one who told me about the autoimmune stuff. 10,000 from her. My other doctor gave me the 50,000, but I didn't want to do that. My multivitamin had 2,500. My hair vitamins has 2,500. I was taking about 17,000 I think it's IUs a day or
Yeah.
more, sometimes 25, with everything that I was taking, and they were not budging. They were not budging. So,
So, and the reason why I say that and why I backed up for that is because this is where most people are at, and and I mean it's gonna come up sooner or later that when you start working with me and following what I teach, I use food for everything.
yeah.
And and this is what I see, like, I don't care if you're taking 10,000, 25,000, or 50,000, which it is crazy, and numbers won't budge. And that's because when you understand what's going on in your microbiome, that's when you understand why those supplements don't work.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important for people to follow the program step by step, is because everything that I lay out builds on top of every single step. And
Mhm.
so, vitamin D is it's the biggest thing for me to move forward. Like if I don't know what your vitamin D is doing, then it's hard for me because 80% of your immune system is your gut flora. And the strength of your immune system is directly correlated to your levels of vitamin D. In my case, my vitamin D levels were at 22 nanograms per deciliter, which is low. Normal ranges are supposed to be from 30 to 55. And even that, I think it's a little bit low. If you can get above 55, that's where you start getting into some cool, where you can really start playing. I mean, that's your immune system, is fairly strong at that point. Doesn't mean that it's healthy. It just means
Mhm.
that it's strong. But those are just indicators. And so you switch from, whatever they gave you over there to fermented cod liver oil, and
Yes.
now you're actually seeing your levels
Yep.
move.
They're going up. And that was another thing that I was scared to do, because in the past I've taken regular, whatever I forget what it was called, but it was like the 369 omegas or whatever, and
Mhm.
nothing that I took made me feel better. It either made me feel the same or worse.
Yes.
I couldn't take it because it would hurt my stomach.
Mhm.
Um, I could not take CoQ10 without it hurting my stomach. I could not take fish oils without it hurting my stomach.
Yeah.
So when it came to the thing of, okay, well, let's try this fermented cod liver oil, it's like, oh, you know, and I said, okay, you know what? I'm on it. I'm doing this. And I had to trust. And I think I took like 8 the first night. And I'm like, I don't feel nothing. My stomach's not hurting me at all. I didn't wake up and feel nauseous. I had no pain. It's like, okay, next night, take 8 more. My stomach didn't hurt me. It was like I was waiting for that bad reaction because I had so many bad things before and it never happened. So I'm now I take 10 a night because
Yeah.
I want my levels to, get better, because it's at 39. So I want it to get better. And so I do 10 a night and my stomach does not hurt me. I'm not nauseous. It's I've not had a negative thing happen with that. The saliva test for my adrenals, and was taking a supplement for that too. And I'm not on that anymore either.
I know that when you started, it was just you. But now that you're going through this, how is this impacting people around you?
The people that I work with, of course, they're asking questions, and you know, I mean, I'm playing with my kids more. I go outside. I couldn't stand to be outside. The heat um, made me feel ill. Like, just, and it wasn't the heat, it's me, that it just got me. I did not want to be in the sun. I felt like my eyes just wanted to close. Um, I feel better to do more stuff. There's a lot more that I want to do. And now it's just a thing of I need to stop and I just need to do it. I want to get back in karate. There's no reason for me to not. I just need to say, you know what? Leave the house and go to karate. Um, you just get caught up in habits or whatever, and I just don't want to go anywhere. But I go outside, I walk with my kids. Um, I have more energy. I feel better to do everything with everybody. And that's it's that simple. Um, I'll go sit in my front yard, let the baby run around, stuff like that. And before I'm like, oh, I can't, like my eyes just want to close. And if my eyes close, then I can't watch her. And I don't have that anymore. So we do our thing. It's amazing. It's been really simple because you done all the hard work.
You know, how is your kids, your family, like, how are they being impacted by you learning all of this stuff?
Oh, well, okay. So, um, my husband cooks every day, so he's willing to, we got the ghee butter. He knows that I don't want fried foods. He knows that, just bring me my meat and my sauerkraut. If I'm working, stuff like that. He will ask, what you feel like eating today. And, let's, whatever you cook is fine. Just remember. And he has been amazing with everything. Let's find this ghee butter and we'll try this, the coconut oil. Um, Frying foods is, how do you fry foods without vegetable oil? So that's the hard one. I asked him yesterday if he wanted to try to fry foods in the coconut oil just to see, and he's like, sure, let's see. Um, I think it's been a good thing. It's but I still have both worlds in my house. I
Yeah.
still have, because he's he, not everybody wants to do what I do,
Right.
but I've got my oldest daughter who's 15. She's drinking more water. Um, I even give her the fermented cod liver oil. I give her that at night. I give her one. Um, it's all been great. Everybody is willing to, and I think it's because they knew just how bad I was feeling, and they absolutely see a difference. My
Yeah.
husband confirmed that 2 nights ago. He's just so, that was nice because I know I feel better, but I didn't realize that I looked younger. I feel the difference in my skin, but I didn't realize that, but when you don't feel good, you don't look good either, I guess. I'll still look good, but maybe I don't know. I don't know. Just saying. I'm not sure. I'd have to ask. But I think it's everything has been. Well, I don't think it's been good.
And it may feel like, hey, this is different. People will look at you, drinking your blue green algae. What's that?
What's that? Yeah.
Right?
Oh my God, it's algae. Ew. It
Yeah.
doesn't taste. It doesn't taste at all. It's like
And,
a little, but it's not bad. What's wrong with you? You want some? That's okay.
and that's the stuff that, people are gonna go through.
Yeah.
And for some people, that may be the reason why they don't do this,
Hmm.
is because they care more about fitting in than, about doing something for themselves. They put other people before they put themselves. Was there at any point where your belief shifted from like, there's nothing that I can do about this to, wait a second, I have control over this?
Yes. It had to be in week, probably right. I had it right there in my notes. Um, I would say week 3.5. I said something's changing. And I was a little worried because it wasn't, my process has been slow and I'm okay with that. Because I have nothing but time and I feel so much better that it's only going to keep on getting better. So that's how I see it. But when the second phase started, when it was the hydration and I think maybe things have switched up a little bit, but it was okay, let's shift into phase 2. That's when I was like, I'm good. I am so good. I got my hydration down. I'm drinking a gallon or a little bit more a day. I am not, I don't feel like I'm dying. I don't feel like there's something wrong. I just feel good. So, and like I'm saying, every week I had more plants. I'm like, okay. And by week 5, it was it was amazing. By week 7, it was completely like it was. I had it. I had it. We had it.
So what are you looking forward to from now on?
Okay, so what I'm looking forward to, honestly, is um, trying to figure out what I have to do as far as my hormones go.
Okay.
Um, I don't, still not 100% about my diet, but that's almost like, just don't eat crap. Just don't eat shit. Keep it clean. I juice, I do, but my hormones, getting that, to where I can, because my goal is to get off of my thyroid medicine. I'm going to get off of that medicine. Um, and I got it set in my mind that if my doctor says, oh, well, we need to up it, I'm not upping it. I'm going to find something else. But I know that, I know if my gut would be a little bit better. I know that my hormones are going to start kind of kicking in a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So that's my main goal. And it's just to, whatever I have to do for that, I'm going to
Yeah.
do it. My hair, I would love for my hair to start growing back, which I do think it's kind of a little bit right there. But I lost over half of my hair.
Yeah.
It still grows. Don't get me wrong. My hair is very, very long. But what fell out isn't growing back yet. It is, but it's just slow. Just like my process is just slow. But I want my hormones to kick in because I'm not doing it. So that's just where I'm at.
That's awesome. So, I mean, because you're barely what, 2.5, almost 3 months in?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, definitely it's okay. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to tell you what to do as far as that goes. I think everyone knows that by now, but just in case, I'm not here to treat, cure, prevent any disease. I'm a beer brewer. When it comes to hormones, here's the cool thing about it. It's the last phase, but it's, to me, once you get to that point, that's like black belt in karate.
Yeah.
The way you're going to get to it is by practicing the fundamentals, because some of the things that you're going to do during phase 3, when we work on hormone production and balance, that's when you really, that's the point. Like when people are starting out, I don't care if you're drinking water out of a plastic bottle, because I'd much rather you drink the minimum 2 quarts, even if it's in plastic bottles, than not drink water at all. When you're on phase 3, however, that's where, if you're not drinking clean water, that's where that matters, right? If you're not drinking the right amount based on your diet, that's where that matters. That's where those little details matter. And that's where mastery of these fundamentals that seem unimportant when you're getting started, that's when they matter, because that's I mean, hormone production is just that. It's basically sprouting. Hormones, testosterone, estrogen, all of your sex hormones, that's your fertility. That's what makes seed fertile in
Yeah.
plants as much as it does in humans.
Mhm.
Okay. So this is basically like the most advanced part of diet is understanding like what creates that fertility. And for that, you need all the fundamentals down.
Yeah. Well, I'm not trying to have any more babies, but so I have a 3-year-old at 44, but my testosterone was low. Um, I think my estrogen was low, much progesterone is high, um, all of that. But I'm 44.
Yeah.
Uh, you, I mean, maybe that shouldn't be an excuse. I don't know. Um, but I have to get all, and I am working on it. I am working on it because I do believe that it's all getting better. My doctor said that he was pleasantly happy with my blood work that I did last week, and he's never said that. And I've been seeing him since I'm 19. So he said the liver's good, the kidneys are good, and I feel good. He's like, so that is great. He said, so what are you doing? And I said, I'm working on my gut. you know, that's what I'm doing. And he's like, well, just keep doing it. And I told him, I said, I'm drinking a gallon of water a day. I do minerals. And he's like, okay, keep doing it because everything looks really, really good. So I'm getting there.
So
I'm getting
25 years, your
25 years.
doctor never told you this
Never,
until
never. Yes. Pleasantly happy. So that's a good thing.
that's
So
awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Well, we're over the hour, so this is a perfect time to stop. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I
Thank you so much. And you're welcome.
I truly, truly appreciate you for doing so. I really hope that more people are inspired by your story, just like you were inspired by Ina's story.
Yes.
There may be someone who will watch this video and will say, Christina, because of your story, I got on this journey and changed my life. So thank you for that. And thank you for being here. I didn't mean to bring some tears out, but hey,
I'm
I'm,
always emotional. So
that's okay. I'm so glad that you're doing better. I
feel
definitely look
better.
forward to
So
following the rest of your journey. You're just getting started.
yeah.
So let's see where this goes. All right. Thank you, everyone else who joined us live and anyone watching the replay. I'll be going through comments later on. Don't forget, comment optimize below if you want me to reach out to you and work with me directly. Have a good one. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Good night.